as well that we have invited.
Coach T, Conyers, Georgia. Has been
Woohoo! The $1 Million Club. Here it comes. Coach T.
how you
Welcome,
doing?
welcome, sir. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you, Karen. We appreciate you and all you do.
Yes, sir. So anyone else would like to announce themselves so we can get this thing rolling? I see people are coming in from different states and different cities, and we are very excited about this amazing, amazing program right before you guys. And, you know, I'm just telling you, a lot of people are being blessed, and we are just one of those educators, connectors, and also we are missionaries, and these are our missions, is to be able to reach out and give this individual an amazing information.
First soldier out of Elgin, South Carolina.
All right, welcome on the line, sir, from Georgia. Did you say Georgia? I heard South Carolina.
South Carolina.
South Carolina. All right, welcome, welcome. So we have some other realtors, agents that's on the line as well from Colville Real Estate and Century 21. I mean, big companies. And once we forward this information to them, they are very excited to just join in and listening in with this amazing information, because definitely it can bless them and it can definitely bless their clients for those individuals who's not able to get approved. So welcome on the line. Is there anyone else that would like to announce themselves so we can get this thing going and rolling and get this amazing information? Because we do have a very special guest on the line that's going to be giving us a pretty good treats on today. So let's go get rolling. So I would like to introduce to you guys our success coach and mentor, Kingdom Nair Titanium, Mr. Andre Waters. Take it away, sir.
Good, good. Great afternoon, Senior Rights, Miss Karen. Can you hear me?
Hear you well, sir.
I'm definitely excited. I appreciate her. Welcome everybody to the line, all our realtors on the line. If you haven't announced yourself, please do. And if you want to mention your real estate company, then that's fine as well. All right, let's take off, because your time is your currency and your time is your money, honey. And what we do with your money is vitally and very important. I am too excited about what's happening, what's going on to put people's in houses. And the way we're going to do that, we're going to do it through this program here to help them get squared away. Realtors, 70-80% of individuals or clients that walk in your office, they're not even able to be approved. So that's foregone opportunity that's gone. But with Make Wealth Real Financial and our other partners that you're going to hear from the line, then it's just amazing. With Mr. Brian House, what he has put together, and President Mr. Adama Tosin. And it's a Keys to Home Ownership program, and you see the various levels that you can qualify at, and you're going to hear from Mr. Tracy Mills, who's going to break down that portion of it here in a few minutes with the path to home ownership. This is our Fire Your Landlord movement educational session for our realtors and real estate professionals. And the amazing gentleman here met this gentleman out of Fort Lauderdale a few months ago. It was back in February. Yeah, baby. That's his tagline. He's full of energy, so humble. And that is none other than Mr. Lou Brown, the founder of Path to Home Ownership. And we're going to be hearing from his very best general right here, guys, which is Mr. Tracy Mills, a senior transition specialist out in the Charleston, South Carolina. He's also the manager at Live Oak Solutions. And of course, you see that right there. They buy houses, put them into that Path to Home Ownership program. So we're partnering with amazing individuals. And our exclusive partnership is a group of certified affordable housing experts. And of course, Mr. Tracy is one of those amazing individuals. I'm gonna share a little bit about me, and we're gonna keep rolling. As I've been travel around the country and sometimes international, it's always fair to be transparent, let people know an idea who you may be doing business with or maybe partner with. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about me. We're gonna dive right into this information. But real estate professionals and owners, you are inside for a double treat. All right, little church family bio. My mother's pastor, pop's a deacon. I was raised up in a little small town, Clinton, North Carolina. And that's some of my leadership right there. And you know what's amazing? Bishop Harry L. Cohen, the president of the United Holy Church of America, he's partnered with us as well. He's in actually a couple of my business, and he's in this program as well. And we're bringing those 500 churches to the table and to introduce this information. I am a visionary and I move with a spirit of excellence. And WPGW say, what does that stand for? Depends on how you receive it. Wealth, prosperity, God's way. We prosper God's way. We're God, pros God's way. We're professionals gifting wealth. We're professionals getting wisdom. We're professionals gifting wisdom. I was employed with Jackson here at Tax Services for 4 years. I completed a tax course by a multi-millionaire 9 years ago. She showed me how to increase money in your paycheck and retirement checks, and a lot of secrets and principles of the wealthy. And the beautiful thing now, I don't have to increase paychecks and do those things because that's something that MWR does. Isn't that amazing? I have my associates in account arts and business at Sanford Community College in Clinton, North Carolina. I have my bachelor's degree in business finance entrepreneur at UNCW, Cameron School of Business. And I'm 4 classes to complete my MBA, my master's in business as well. One of the most beautiful things happened to me at UNCW was getting connected to the Cameron Executive Network. And that is, if you're familiar with Wilmington, North Carolina, Mayfair, Landfall, those are my mentors. So I was mentored by those ladies and gentlemen in that network. I've been in the industry 12 and a half years of really blessing and helping people and traveling across the country in full time the last 9 years. I have 30 plus years experience in health and wellness advocate. I truly and firmly believe no health, no wealth. I stopped counting after I assisted 17 plus individuals resign from corporate America, from their corporate jobs. And Senior Vice President Ms. Karen Tolosa, Jacksonville, North Carolina, by way of Manila, Philippines, who opened up the line. She's one of those 17 plus. I salute all my veterans and military out there. I did do the military a couple years. I was in the infantry and combat arms, so we salute our Air Force, our Army, our Coast Guard, our Marine Corps, our Navy Reserves, our active duty military. Hats off to you. I have a conglomerate of business. I'm not going to go into details here, but the program that's going to help your clients is not being approved. Because one of the challenges as real estate professionals, realtors, you got to get the client approved. And that could be very challenging. When we have the solution, a comprehensive program, one-stop shop, that's Make Wealth Real Financial, the ultimate cash flow company. I'm going to play a 7-minute video here shortly in reference to that. We also have the employee retention program as well with Make Wealth Real. Private reserve accounts, land banking, just so many amazing things with passive income. Also, I'm a part of Valara. I believe in protecting our communities. I did a pastor protect their community. We have pastors, bishops, nonprofit leaders all over the country with this NASA space station technology. Okay. CBD, I was on the front lines of CBD like 6 years ago, traveling all over the country. Remember, guys, no health, no wealth. I believe in wellness. What I cook with is healthy cookware. What I clean the home with is Metaluca Innovative Products. And also part of the Westgate Travel and Cruise Club as well. And I'm a certified travel agent. Also, I've been consulting business owners, nonprofits, and faith-based communities for some years now. Oh my God, over a couple decades. And I have my master's in mindset life coaching January 2021. And that's just some of the things that entailed in my master's in mindset life coaching. And then on February 2022, on last year, I acquired my certified master in life coaching, guys. And I'm sitting here in the WPGW Embassy Library, guys. Just amazing things. You ever in Wilmington, North Carolina, you got to come and visit me. I'm 10 to 12 minutes from Carolina Beach and Wrightsville Beach. All right. Now, I have 3 transformation coaching classes. I put them on pause because with this amazing program, I wasn't able to give it that attention. So I put my 3 coaching classes on pause, and the concentrations and focus are the whole man: spiritual, emotional, mentally, physically, and financial. And I believe in proven strategies and processes and principles and strategies as well. Now, let's play the 7-minute video in reference to the foundation of what we do here, or should I say the experts do.
Introducing the Financial Edge membership, your personal team of financial experts that use proven strategies to help you save, grow, and protect your money. With this incredible membership, you'll have access to several of the key elements necessary to complete MWR's financial makeover, including everything you need to lower your taxes, monthly expenses, and debts, while being able to increase your cash flow, credit scores, and investment income, all at the same time. And best of all, you don't have to become a financial expert, because our experts do all the work. This starts with our tax reduction strategies that include our instant pay raise and your very own tax hotline that gives you unlimited financial advice on demand with top-rated CPAs, CFPs, and enrolled agents with the IRS. These experts will immediately help you stop overpaying on your taxes and help you use the home-based business tax laws to pay even less. This one service has already helped thousands of people, just like you, get an instant pay raise of hundreds and even thousands of dollars every month, starting with their very next paycheck. Our experts do this by adjusting your W-4 for you to stop overpayments. They will then help you turn your personal expenses into legitimate home-based business deductions, so you can pay even less. And they will even review your last 3 years' tax returns to see if they can recover any overpayments your tax preparer may have missed. The results equal tax savings shifted back to you from the government. Our next goal is to lower your monthly expenses with our Bill Shredder program. This service provides you with your own team of professional bill negotiators that will immediately go to work on your behalf to lower your regular monthly bills. Things like your cell phone, cable or satellite, security, internet, utility bills, and a whole lot more, without you having to change plans or service providers. The results equal bill savings shifted back to you from big business. But it doesn't stop there. Debt is one of the biggest financial challenges for most Americans to overcome. However, this is no longer the case thanks to MWR's debt elimination strategies. By simply plugging into our proprietary debt elimination system, you'll be able to eliminate all your debts, including your mortgage, in record time, without having to pay one dime more than you are right now. This incredible system provides you with a detailed monthly plan of action to accelerate your payoff dates and interest savings. The results? Debt payments shifted back to you from the banks and big businesses. Think about it. What would your life look like if your debt was zero? And while you're thinking about that, let's talk about how you got into this mess in the first place. Credit. This is the price we pay for things we can't afford, and it's not totally your fault. Thanks to the effects of inflation combined with overpaying on our taxes and regular monthly expenses, this causes most of us to finance a lifestyle instead of ever being able to own it. This scenario has also created the greatest retirement crisis in American history. Our CEO, Brian House, says it best. Credit is the gateway to debt, and debt is the pathway to poverty. As long as you're paying interest, that's money you can never save, invest, or pay yourself. And he's right. This is also why it's important to keep your credit scores as high as possible so you can lower your interest rates, monthly payments, and insurance premiums. Our credit restoration experts can do this for you by helping you restore, enhance, and rebuild your credit, while also providing you with access to everything you need to order, monitor, and protect it. The credit restoration strategies and experts we provide have already helped over 100,000 satisfied customers experience an average credit score increase of 50 to 150 points or more in as little as 2 to 8 months, and you could be next. The results? Interest savings shifted back to you from the banks so you can make yourself wealthy instead of your creditors. So now that you know how we can shift your taxes, interest, expenses, and debt payments back to you, it's time to put this money to work by turning these savings into passive streams of investment income. Our wealth accumulation experts can help you make this a reality by providing you with the best ways to save, grow, and protect your money tax-free with little to no risk of loss. They do this by utilizing high-yield investment strategies that have been used by the wealthy for decades. Strategies that, until now, have been withheld from over 94% of the American population. Why? Because most of the companies that provide these strategies only focus their marketing efforts on individuals that earn $250,000 per year or more, also known as sophisticated investors. This has made the wealthy wealthier while excluding the people that need it most. Well, not anymore. With a Financial Edge membership, you'll now have full access to your own personal team of wealth experts that can analyze your current savings or investment portfolio and or help you design the wealth plan that's best for you. And just like all our services, our wealth experts will do the work for you. Their first goal is to help set up and structure your own self-banking, private reserve account. Imagine being able to participate in stock market gains without ever having to experience those scary losses. And how would you like to be able to borrow from yourself while the money you borrowed continues to earn interest as if it never left your account with no taxes, fees, or early withdrawal penalties? Well, now you can. In addition to being able to become your own bank, our experts will also help you participate in one of the oldest, safest, and most profitable wealth-building strategies, land banking. This strategy gives you the ability to buy land in the path of growth at 20 to 40% below market value that is located and purchased for you by real experts with a proven track record of success. They can even show you how you may be able to become a landowner without ever having to write a check. And certainly, last but not least, you can now build equity and participate in the profits of buying, selling, flipping, and investing in real estate without all the headaches. You heard me right. Whether you want to purchase your own home, sell the one you have, or enjoy the profits generated from flipping or investing in real estate, our experts can make it happen by doing all of the hard work for you. The results? Your money grows and works for you. You become the bank instead of ever having to depend on one again, and you get to participate in the same asset accumulation strategies used by the wealthy with little to no risk of loss. With that said, it's important to mention that everyone's financial situation is different and results may vary. However, with your own team of financial experts, you'll have peace of mind in knowing that you can get confidential and compliant results provided by licensed and qualified experts. In other words, you never have to share any of your personal financial information with the person that shared MWR Financial with you. So, what are you waiting for? Get back to the person that thought enough of you to provide you with this information and start your complete MWR Financial makeover today.
All right. A day, okay? And of course, there's other benefits as well. Now, what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna turn it over to Mr. Tracy Miles. And Mr. Tracy Miles is gonna show you how his team works with your clients and get individuals approved without traditional and conventional banking and lending. And of course, they can get qualified that way. All right. Mr. Tracy, are you on, sir?
I'm here, yes. Thank you, Kendra.
All right. Let me get your session up for you there. All right. Everyone, you can see that, Mr. Tracy?
I don't see it yet,
Okay.
but I may be on the wrong screen.
All right. Give me just a second here. Let me go back here, Mr. Tracy. Give me just a second. So we can get it shared. Right. Here we go. All right. You can see it now.
There we go. That looks like it. So hello, everyone. And my name is Tracy Mills. I'm actually in Charleston, South Carolina, where I currently reside. Been in South Carolina most of my life. Up in North Carolina for a little while, and Virginia as a younger child. So we work all over the place here in South Carolina. And parts of North Carolina, Georgia. We've got properties in many other states as well. And we are certified affordable housing providers. That is our nationwide brand. We're branded. Our home office, as we spoke of earlier, Lou Brown founded this some years ago, and he's out of Tucker, Georgia. So my company is all of these certified affordable housing providers. We're individually owned and operated. My company is Live Oak Solutions, and we want to be able to provide home ownership to everyone. So this is our home ownership program, which is called the Path to Home Ownership. I know we have it flagged under MWR as the keys to home ownership, but they're one and the same. So during this brief presentation, we're going to talk a little bit about who we are, about our unique program, and how we're different than traditional sales that go on, and the benefits that we can provide over a typical seller, and also how a person can buy a house today. So who we are, we're a multi-service company who buys, repairs, rents, and sells homes. We provide friendly and honest customer service to fit all your needs. And we work with all types of buyers and situations, including shortage of down payment, credit issues, and those that have never even bought a home. As a nationwide network of certified affordable housing providers, we work to create win-win solutions for buyers, sellers, lenders, and for realtors. So for over 65 years of combined experience working with families in the community, we ask you just to be aware of the invitations because we are the original. We are a community-based service, so we really like to dig into an area and work in that area to produce multiple opportunities for people to experience home ownership. Part of my team here at Live Oak Solutions, we have Joe Karen, Steve Lurie, Andrea Hayes, and Lowell Caro. We're kind of spread out over the country. So Joe and I are here in Charleston and everybody else is scattered around. We have Nashville, Tennessee, Las Vegas, Nevada, and Boston, Massachusetts. So I am a local certified affordable housing provider. I've been trained and certified to share this program with you. I think I got started with the certification process back in 2015. I am a housing counselor and a field representative for the Certified Affordable Housing Provider brand and for the Path to Home Ownership. So one of the things to remember is, what if you don't qualify for FHA financing or conventional bank financing? You can join our Path to Home Ownership program, and you may qualify for either our in-house financing or you can do our rent-to-own program for up to 3 years. So we can start people off anywhere they need to be. The biggest separation for what we're typically doing is their down payment. So our in-house financing requires 10% down payment, but our rent-to-own program starts off at 5% down payment. And you can work your way up through our programs all the way into bank financing, which is our platinum level. Go back one there, Andrew, please. Yes, sir. So one lady, Jane here, just know that one right there. That worked fine. There we go. Jane just sent us a testimony that my past medical bills ruined my credit. Our program rebuilt my credit and gave us home ownership. This would not have been possible without you. And thank you. And that was from Jane. She was very glad to get into a home immediately while she worked on her credit and got things straightened out in her situation so that she ultimately could get bank financing. So wouldn't you like to own your own home? What if you could own versus rent? So you could also enjoy the pride of ownership, building your family's future, enjoying the tax benefits. And one of the greatest things about this is that if you get ready to move, because we're a mobile world now, everybody's moving more than they used to. So at the end, if you decide to move after you've been in this house a while, it's something that you can sell instead of just letting your landlord know that you're going to be moving out of the property. So it's something you can sell and make a profit on and move on. Or in our program, you could trade up into another house. So if you decided to move somewhere else, we have certified affordable housing providers all over the country. So even if we need to work with another CAP, as we call them, to find you a house, that is something we're capable of doing.
And Mr. Tracy,
Yes,
I want to remind you that we got real estate owners on. I know you're accustomed to doing it for the individuals as well. So we do have the real estate owners on. And how would this benefit them and their clients?
As far as real estate agents?
Yes, we have real estate agents on. Yeah.
So one of the big things about our program is if you've had, like he just touched on a few minutes ago, if you've had clients that have come in the past and they've not been able to get qualified with traditional financing, and it could be a myriad of reasons why. Self-employed, their credit could just not be up to snuff. They could have gone through a divorce. They could have gone through bankruptcy. They could have gone through foreclosure. All of these are people that we can work with. Because we're not under the same regulations that the bank might be. It typically, but they are going to have down payment money to work with, and they are going to have provable, dependable income, because we do have the Frank Dodd Act. We do have to make sure people can afford what we're putting them in. So the very first thing we want to do is qualify them just almost like a bank would, and find out what they're capable of paying on a monthly basis and how much they've got to work with, so that we can identify how much house to look for. And then we set about finding a house that fits their needs. And that may be a reason, an opportunity to use the realtor as well, is in the search for their home, depending on where they are.
All right. And guys, we appreciate everybody as well. This is our first time in. Mr. Tracy connected here a couple weeks ago and we spoke. So this is our first run. You guys get to experience our first run at this. So please bear with us and work with us. We appreciate you.
One of the other things that we have in our program, and I'll just touch on this, is our Work for Equity program. I don't know of anybody else that offers this. Sometimes companies will let you do work on houses and they'll deduct it. But one of the things that we like doing is, because it's a community-based business, we found out some years ago that if we just buy a house and it needs fix-up work done to it, which almost all houses do need some kind, we can either go in and put our touch on it and spend the money getting people in there and hiring contractors to get it all done and raising the price of the house, or we could put the house out on our Work for Equity program and let the person who would like to buy the house, if they're able and have the skills or have someone in their family that can, let them do the work. And then we will give them credit for doing that work once completed, as to help them with their down payment or to lower the price of the house, which would lower their monthly payment. So all of that is possible. And so a lot of times when people just don't have quite enough down payment, this will push them over into the level of our in-house financing, and they can get that started quicker than maybe holding out to get more down payment. And what it really does for them is it gives them pride of their own ownership. If we go in and paint the house, I'll just have to tell you, every time we paint a house or put flooring in, somebody comes and changes that almost immediately. So it seemed like wasted money. So now we've figured out that we can let them do that, put their own colors in, and then they're very proud of their house. And when they move into it, they're just ecstatic about doing it. And they can all this work can be done most of it while they're living in the house. So it's not like they have to do all the work before they can even move in. Most of our houses can be moved into while they are doing some of the work. Now, we have had some that needed a little bit more construction, and people with different skills were able to go in and save a lot of money to be actually, and they had to get some of that done before they could move in. But it's really not that big of a problem. We can work that out. So this is one of the ladies in Atlanta, Georgia, Andrew, that she bought this house and agreed to do some of the work, went in and stripped the house out on this before picture. And then, as you can see, she tiled the background, and she didn't know how to lay tile. She just went to Home Depot, took one of their weekend courses, got some help from them, and she just tackled this and did a magnificent job doing it, and earned credit for doing it. So it wasn't like she just had to buy this house and then go in and spend this money for no reason. She actually got credit for what she did, and it came off the price of the house. This is kind of one of my favorite stories. We have Mr. Leon Harris in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm 63 years old. Because of your company, I was able to get the opportunity for home ownership for the first time in my life. We transformed the house and our lives with your Work for Equity program. Thank you so much, Mr. Leon Harris. And Mr. Harris has passed away since then, but his wife and son who helped him do this work actually still live in the house today. And so all of his hard work and determination paid off for his family, which leaves a legacy, which is really what we're after. And how we can benefit with you. We'll work with you regardless of your credit or your background to attain valuable home ownership. We have down payment options, we have tax benefits, a house at a fair price, and plus credit fix options to further lower your payments. Because as we know, the better your credit is, when you get ready to go to a bank, the better the interest rate that you're going to get. So just one other quick thank you was, you made it so quick and easy for us. We're excited about our future ownership thanks to you. And that was Myron and Carol Johnson. Two key factors in our program. It's really not about their credit score. We pull their credit, or we have them pull their credit to verify the debts that they may have. But their real decision is based on their total household income and the amount of down payment they have to work with, or in some cases, the work for equity. So those are the biggest things that we really need to talk with people and kind of pre-qualify them about, is what kind of income do you have to work with? Because that's going to determine what your payment and how much house you're going to be able to buy. And then also, how much down payment do you have access to? Now, that could be in 401ks. It could be from family helping them with their down payment. I know today we even have families moving in together, siblings and children and parents and siblings. We've even had friends move into houses together. They buy a larger house and they just kind of split it up and live that way. And, you know, that's just getting creative. A lot of banks may not let you do that, but we can work with that. So you can get started today. You just simply send your clients to our website, and they can come through MWR to get that done. They complete an application. We don't take a $50 application fee up front. Typically, it's a $50 fee to get into our membership. But our application, there's several parts of our application that come into play. And the closer you get to being put into a home, there actually is an application fee and a background check, but that happens when we're closer to putting you into a home versus just getting that in the start. Now, I will say this, there are times when houses come up and they're available, and some people will just go ahead and say, look, go ahead and get it all done. I want to be ready to go the minute you find a house. And so we'll go ahead and do their background check, their application fee. They're sitting there ready to go. And when a house comes available and we notify everybody, there are going to be people that show up that have to still get all this stuff done, and it takes a little while. So sometimes it really could put you to the top of the list or line by having that already done. We ask that they provide their credit report to us. We'll show them how to get that done so that we don't actually have to go in and make a hit on their credit. This analysis determines the best program for their situation right at that moment. And we'll find a house that fits your needs and program requirements. Sometimes it's an inventory, but if we don't find one that fits your situation, we'll search for one. Now, I have to tell you, lately, the last year or two, the inventory has not been as big as it has in the past. So typically, we have to go out and find a home to fit their situation. And then credit restoration could be your next step, which if they're already in the MWR client, they're already working on that, and that just puts them even a step further ahead. Another way, just like with every other type of business, we do referrals. So we pay people for referrals. We pay them when they look for houses. One of the things we encourage people to do when they get signed up with us is start looking around in your area for houses that may be vacant or not taken care of, or an elderly person is looking to move out of, whatever, even listed homes. And if they give those homes to us, let us know about them, and we buy those houses, we're glad to pay them a referral fee for referring that house to us. And also for other clients that may need our program as far as buying, if they refer them to us, when we put them in a home, we're glad to give them a referral fee. And it usually runs $250 to $500.
Beautiful. And to Mr. Tracy, I may add, in reference to some individuals that may not have green cards and things of that sort, how do you work with those individuals? And
we can definitely work with those people. Like I said, it really comes down to their ability to pay and the amount of down payment they have. We actually can work with undocumented workers. There's not many situations we can't work with.
Wow.
So my team and I, we look forward to creating a solution for you and your clients. So, you know, if you're as a realtor, you've had people come in, and of course, we don't want to interfere with the marketplace, and you have marketable properties and you've got people coming in that qualify for loans, you're naturally going to send them right on through the process of getting them in a home. But instead of turning somebody away and saying, look, you've been turned down by the mortgage company, or there's no way we're going to be able to get you qualified, wouldn't it be great if you could say, but I have another option that might work for you, and send them our way? Let's see if we can get them into a house, and you will reap the rewards from that in many ways, not only just taking the extra step to help your client instead of going, we just can't help you, I guess you're stuck in a rental. This is a way that you can actually get them help and also earn a referral fee. One of the things we do within our company here in Charleston is, if you're working with a client and you know the intimate details about what's going on and you're working with us to help them get a home, we actually can pay you 20% of their down payment as a referral also, for helping us get them into a home. So that's another way that you can monetize a client that you would have normally had to either turn away and send out the door, or you may have put them into a rental in a program, you know, a property management program. And I'm glad to entertain any questions. I think that's probably my most favorite part of doing any of these, is answering questions.
All right, all right. So our real estate professionals on the line, real estate realtors, you have questions in reference, any questions in reference to what Mr. Lou Brown discussed and what I discussed earlier, we'll take those questions. Any questions, you can mute yourself if you would. You know, some may have got on late, or may have some challenges. Some people are not familiar with GoToMeeting, so they normally may not read or overlook the bottom of where it says stop, and if you haven't been on GoToMeeting, download the app first. So some of you may have came on late. I did record it as well, and not only that, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today, you will hear from me, Andre Waters, Kingdom Air Titanium, in reference to the first benefit of how a realtor can help get their clients qualified. And through the powerful program that Mr. Tracy Miles just discussed, then they take the other part of it. So we're working together and partnering to help individuals to get in the program. And they got up to 3 years to rent. Anything else you'd like to add, Mr. Tracy?
Well, just know that's a rent to own. It's not really a rental. So we give them an option on the house. We go ahead and do a predetermined price on the house. So if it goes up, we actually 2 years ago we actually had some people that had an option on a house, and the house appreciated so fast they were actually able to sell their option and make money on the house without ever having bought the house. So it was a fantastic deal for them that they would have never gotten as a rental.
Wow. That's amazing. And they have different levels that they can come in and qualify as too, right, Mr. Tracy?
That's correct. So we can work with people and we try to start them off wherever they are. So if they need to start off in the rent to own, we can start there and work our way up. And they have at least 3 years to do that into the in-house financing. But I got to tell you, we're always trying to encourage them to get to at least the owner financing part of it if they can. That's just going to give them the tax benefits. It's going to give them ownership in the home and get out of that rental side, even with an option. We're looking to try to help them do that just as fast as they can.
Wonderful, wonderful. Sounds great. Any questions? Any questions? We love questions. And Mr. Tracy is the best. He's the best of the best. I promise you, who we partner with, CEO, Mr. Lou Brown, Mr. Tracy is his top guy around the country. So you guys have the best of the best, and realtors will get to capitalize in a few different ways. And the beautiful thing is your clients are connected to individuals, professionals, and expert firms who do all the work. Any last words, Mr. Tracy?
Well, no, that does it. I'm missing the questions. I always get really good questions.
All right, all right. All right, well, we thank everyone for dialing in to this amazing real estate educational session. We look to see you at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and all that's
So I do see
today.
a raised hand there, Andrew,
Oh, we got a raised hand?
from Cheryl.
Okay. Let's see, Miss Cheryl. Okay, Miss Cheryl, you can unmute yourself if you like. Okay, let me find it here.
Looks like you have a second hand up too.
Okay, appreciate it. All right. Miss Cheryl, your line is open.
Yeah. Do you have anybody? Are you working with any realtors in Illinois?
So we aren't currently, but we do have other caps in the area that will be glad to work with realtors in that area. What part of Illinois are you in?
I'm just right outside of Chicago. I have a couple clients right now that I have in the program. So they're just still uploading their documents right now, but I have another client that has I believe one of my associates has her daughter's looking at coming into the program. But so Illinois and Indiana are those. I know you have people in Indiana, but I was mainly concerned about Illinois.
I have heard that there are people that don't want to work in Chicago for some reason. There's a lot of, go ahead.
Well, Illinois, especially in Cook County, I mean, it's tenants' rights, and so many times people prefer to stay away from states that are tenant rights states. It's a little harder to evict.
Well, and it's not even about the final eviction process. Some of it is just about, I know when I was growing up, just the fear that my dad had the ability to straighten me out at any point kept me straight. And when you know that nobody's going to do anything to you at all, why pay your rent? And so I'm not trying to speak to that. I just know that with no motivation, sometimes things go awry. So I do know there are people that are trying to solve the problem a little better there in Chicago, in that area. But we do have caps in that area that can help, working with that.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Great question. All right, Miss Cheryl, do you physically have your phone on? Well, you should be unmuted there. Miss Cheryl, you still have a question? If you invited Miss Cheryl, you may want to give her a call now and then put her on speakerphone, and then we can still entertain that question.
I invited her, sir. I will.
Okay, you want to give her a call
She
now?
may be able to type it in the chat.
But it do show that her line was unmuted there. But we don't understand the words that's coming out of her mouth. Guys, we have a whole lot of fun, bless a whole lot of people. I'm very grateful for Mr. Tracy Miles and team. Grateful for Make Wealth Real Financial, Mr. Brian Howes, CEO and founding visionary of Make Wealth Real Financial, with a comprehensive financial strategies to help people get qualified. So this is just amazing, especially with all the turmoil what's happening in the country in reference to rents being raised on average from $200 to $600 is displacing so many individuals. So it's just a blessing. And Mr. Tracy and his team and Mr. LeBron is just so humble individuals that have a passion to truly help. So you're definitely connected to the right program, and definitely be grateful to the individual that invited you. And let's fill it up at 7 p.m. Today, Eastern Standard Time. Same information, same channel. Ensure you remind individuals to download the GoToMeeting app prior to logging in. Okay.
I
Also,
have a quick question.
at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Sure.
we will be right here, same back channel, same back station.
How you doing? I have a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
we
sir.
can. How's it going there, Coach T?
All right, great, great. Phenomenal presentation. Well put together. Thank you, brother. Andre, Dre Kingdom Waters, and also Tracy Mills. We appreciate all that you have brought to our team in the South Carolina. I know you're working with a lot of folks in South Carolina, Georgia. Your team is phenomenal. And I definitely got it from the horse's mouth, direct from Lou Brown. You're the man. So we appreciate you. We have law enforcement in common. I'm Coach T. We spoke briefly before. I used to live in Columbia, South Carolina. I live in Conyers, Georgia. But are there any investment opportunities where people can get better returns on their money, being that there's some things that's been happening in the marketplace with a lot of things that people have their money caught in, you know what I'm talking about, and can't pull it out right now. And even in the state of New York, it's shut down. You can't even do certain things up there now in dealing with certain type of currencies. I'll just say it that way. And if it's happening in New York, it's going to happen across the country, especially with Fed now kicking in. But that's a whole nother subject. But are there any other investment opportunities for someone that may have some money, want to put it into some investments like a home, and be a part of this from an investor side and get some type of return on their money?
Yes, absolutely. Most of the time when we buy houses, we use private lenders, people with 401ks, IRAs, where money is sitting, sometimes earning just a little bit of interest, or maybe tied up in somewhere, or just somebody's got a market account with a checkbook with money sitting in it. We definitely can use those funds, and we can turn you into a bank by being a lender when we buy a home to put in our program. So it's, your money is secured by the real estate, which doesn't go anywhere, and it's insured by insurance policy, so that if it ever does burn or get blown away, you get paid off. And we have some pretty good returns. It depends on your experience and what you're wanting to do and the pricing of the house. But just for instance, we have one right now that they have $180,000 deployed, and they're making $900 a month on that money while we're using it. Okay. And at the end of our 3rd year term, they're going to get their $180,000 back. And it's secured by a house that's worth $300,000. So it's a reverse risk. This is the way I look at it. If we ever didn't do, or something happened where we couldn't make our payments and they had to get the house back, now they got a $300,000 house that they've invested $180,000 in. So we're not going to let that happen, because that takes away our business. So it's very safe and secured with real estate. And they're also doing a community service at the same time, because they're funding something that we are doing for people that can't go to the bank. And so if their money is sitting in the bank, this is what gets crazy. If you put their money in the bank, they're going to give you a small interest on that, and they're going to go take that money and loan it out to other people to do other things that you can't control. With this, you know where your money is sitting. You know what your money is doing, and it's benefiting somebody else in a community with our
Tracy, you just triggered something in my head. That's amazing right there. So can we do that as maybe as a group project also, where we know someone that needs a home, and we want to put our money in some safe places like a utility, like a home, something that can grow and help our community by doing that as a group? Or is that just only based on an individual doing it? Like if me and someone else wanted to put 50,000 in, another person puts 50,000, and another person puts 50,000, just kind of keeping it simple. Can something like that be structured also?
That is possible. It's group funding, and you just have to be careful to make sure you've got everything covered and everybody is in a safe spot and nobody can lose. We're not looking for anything to get hairy. That's called crowdfunding, and we can do that. Absolutely.
Wow. Oh man, you just took me to another level there. That's deep.
And we always have need for that. So every person that we have on our list that we're looking for a home for, when we get ready to go buy that home, there are a lot of different ways we can buy, but cash is always the best deal. And if we know going into a negotiation, look, we've got 5 lenders that have money available at this interest rate, we know going into the door what we're going to be able to offer and how good of a deal and how quick we can close, instead of going out and looking for a house and go, how are we going to buy this? Now we got to go find money. So it's always great for people to raise their hand and go, you know, I got $50,000 to work with. I actually have a lady that I was looking at a house, and I could tell you this story real quick. Have I got just a second? Because this is one of my favorite.
No rush, no rush.
Okay, so this is great. We have a CNA in Kingstree, South Carolina, which is a relatively underprivileged community. And we had a house that we wanted to buy. It was a little 3-bedroom ranch home with hardwood floors that it needed to fix up, which she was very happy to do. And so I started reaching out to people, and we needed $40,000. And I'd been telling my story to this same lady in one of my real estate groups. And she called me one afternoon out of the blue and said, I want a loan on that house that you're talking about. And I said, okay. She said, I only have $40,000 in my IRA account. So I've never been able to get involved in a real estate transaction because they required more money. So even though it was a small amount of money, she's picking up $255 a month off of that money. And it was for a 3-year term. So she's getting her full 40,000 back in 3 years. But in the meantime, she's getting $255 a month, and we're paying her interest only. So she's getting the same amount of interest on her money every month. It doesn't go down like an amortized loan.
Wow.
Now, the benefit to this is this young CNA lady that she's a nurse. Well, not a registered nurse, but she does CNA work. She's a foster parent, and she's adopted a child. She's never had any children of her own, and she's a single parent. Hard-working lady. So she got this house. She was living in a motel because she had her landlord sold her house. So she was actually living in a motel. And all this came together because so many people showed up at one time, and this lady said, I have $40,000 in my IRA account. I want to put it there. So it happened. This lady moved in this house, went in and did the work on it. So I don't know how she did it, but it didn't have air conditioning at the time. And she said, no problem. I got window units from my home prior. It won't be a problem. 2 months later, she had a brand new heat and air unit put in that house. Wow. And what does that tell you? She's not going anywhere.
That's right.
She's investing in her future. She's got a home. All of a sudden, she got 2 more foster kids. Now she's got a place for everybody to live. I'm telling you, it's just a win-win situation when all of that comes together. And it's hard to put that into words when you're putting a deal together because you don't ever know who's going to show up. So having those people in the background that say, I'm willing to do this is a big plus for us when we're out shopping for homes. And Coach T, I really appreciate you bringing that up because most people don't think about that opportunity. And real estate is one of the most sound things we have in this country. It's just not going anywhere. We always have to have a place to live.
Beautiful, beautiful.
That's beautiful. Thank you so much. That helped me. You just took me to another level with just how creative we really can be when we come together. I call it Psalms 133. Psalms 133, unity. I love it.
So I appreciate you letting me tell that story. Our clients are the reason we do this, and they all have a story.
Fantastic. Any other questions before we close it out? Till we resume at 7 p.m. Are there anything in the chat, Senior Writer, Ms. Karen, or any other partners? Y'all see anything in the chat?
I don't see anything, sir. Thank you.
All right. Good deal. Good deal.
Sounds great, guys.
I see a hand raised. Looks like one just popped up.
Okay. You can unmute. Who raised their hand there? You can unmute. Let me see. What name is there? Okay, I hear.
It's me, sir.
Okay,
Bless
yes.
Consulting.
Yes, sir. Mr. Mills, I have a question for you. If there is I have few communities that have been completely undersold from the tenants that are currently residing in them. They didn't give any announcements. There was a church attached to it, and because they sold these properties, there's hundreds of people now being made homeless by the end of the month. So
And we
I'm
see that.
trying to see if we did do a collaboration, would you guys be willing to do a collaboration where we can actually get these people into
Miss Nashir, you're breaking up a little there. Miss Nashir,
And
can
so
you
I,
hear us? You're breaking up on us.
I'm currently
Hopefully she'll drive out of it in a minute. No, she's traveling.
and I heard what she's asking, and it's a very common situation right now with the real estate prices going up. Landlords say, you know what, these people are willing to pay me big money for my house. I'm getting out. And it happens all the time. I haven't seen it to where it affected one person so much in that area. It starts off with, we have to get these people qualified and find out what they can afford. And I'll just be honest with you, very likely they've been priced out of the neighborhood that they're in because all the houses went up in value while they were paying rent. So it's very unfortunate, but we can look for other housing. I'm just going to tell you, 100 houses is going to be hard to find very quickly. Not saying
I
it
can
can't
ask
happen.
it on the next meeting if it works, you know.
So I can hear you now.
Go ahead, Mr. Shear.
Okay, I was wondering if we have three communities right now that their houses have been sold in the homes. So, and it's whole communities of houses and apartments that are being sold right underneath the homeowners that are residing in them. So I wanted to know if we did a community group together, gathered where we purchased these properties. There's 376 of them.
Let me ask you this question: Have they already been sold? Have they already been
They've
sold?
been listed on the market for sale.
Okay, so that changes this
right
a
now
lot.
for sale.
That changes this a lot. So if the same person owns them all,
No, they're different owners.
okay, is it 371 different owners or is it like 10 different owners?
Those are the families that are residing in them right now. But the acreage is 300 different properties of apartment complexes that are being sold right underneath the people that are living in them.
Okay, I got you.
So I know they're definitely going to need help.
Okay, that's going to be a challenge. But we do have a way of saving landlords that are selling portfolios. We have a way of saving them from paying capital gains and also from paying the clawback that the government does for any depreciation they may have claimed over the years. So if somebody's willing to sell and sit down and talk with us, we may be able to show them a way to save a ton of money. And sometimes I'm talking millions of dollars by doing it our way. And it will be a little different than their CPAs never told them about this or their attorney, but it's perfectly legal. And the rich and famous use it every day. We just discovered a way to get access to it as well. Now, it doesn't work for every situation because it's expensive to deploy. But for anybody who has 7 or 8, 10, 100 units, we can actually save them a lot of money. So that would be something to discuss and find out how many they own and see if we could strike a deal. But if that's something we could do, we'd be more than happy to look at that.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Everything is on a case by case. There is no across the board solution or problem. Everything you have to dismantle it, find out what the moving parts are, and then see the parts you can deal with and see if you can make a deal here or make a savings for the owner that will encourage them to sell the way that we would like to buy.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Mr. Tracy, we have a question in the chat from Miss Cheryl here. She said she apologized. And two, with Miss Nashir, we'll set up something, Mr. Tracy. We'll get you and me and Miss Nashir on the line here,
Sure.
maybe within the next 24 hours and address that. Miss Cheryl's question is, I apologize for, okay, not hearing me. I have about a 771 credit score, but I have filed self-employed. I don't have income showing for the type of house I desire because of the amount to tax write-off. What can I do? Great
So
question.
go to our website. Let's get you pre-qualified. Just tell us your income. See, on taxes, I'm self-employed too, so I'm very aware of this. We want to show as little money made as possible.
Right.
And then that's used against us at the bank.
That's correct.
Well, we don't look at it that way. We look at what your income is and what your expenses are, and then that's what we've got to work with. There's no getting around that. The tax situation and the tax laws make us do all kind of things so that we don't pay any more taxes than we really should. But we can definitely work with that. So what I would tell you is get on our website, which is lohouses.com, and make an appointment to get pre-qualified, and we'll get you pre-qualified and find out what you can afford, and then work from there.
And two,
Love self-employed.
Mr. Trey, I believe Ms. Nashira, Mr. Shearer invited her.
Yes.
Okay. So Ms. Nashira connect you to Ms. Cheryl exactly what you need to do, or she connect you to me, and then we're gonna connect you to Mr. Tracy. Because some individuals will go direct to Mr. Tracy and do business like that. However, you've connected with a Make Wealth Real Financial partner, then we'll take you through the process and you'll still be connecting with Mr. Tracy Mills. And our team that's the only individual we're working with is Mr. Tracy Mills and his team, period. So you'll be squared away. Did I answer your question, Ms. Cheryl? If you want to respond in the chat.
But we definitely can work with you.
He said, yes, thanks there, Mr. About to say Mr. Lou, Mr. Tracy Miles. Mr. Lou Part 2, that's who he is. All right, any other questions? We got the best of the best, the cream of the crop of the cream of the crop.
We got like this. Go ahead, get the question.
All right, this is Kirby Jones from North Carolina, and I like to ask y'all, if your credit ain't that good, I heard one guy say that it's not really based on your credit, it's based on your income. So you say we find, so okay, the house we got qualified, they only qualified us for 100,000. Is it more we could get qualified for, or is it just certain people that they gonna give us that certain amount for the program?
It's all going to be based on your total income and the
Right.
expenses that you have credit wise. That doesn't mean your light bill and your water bill and your phone bill. It means if you have a car note or furniture that you bought on credit, and those things pull off of your income, and then whatever's left over, it's usually 1/3 of whatever is left over. It's very easy to calculate. So you can come up with those numbers kind of on your own and know where you are. Now, banks have different ways of doing that. They're going to use things against you that we may not use against you. So I'll tell you that we just did a couple in St. Louis, Missouri. They were approved for $290,000, and we put them in a $364,000 house. Same monthly payment.
Yes.
So an average person bringing home $2,000 to $3,000 a month, say their house payment could be roughly around about what?
About $1,000.
Oh, that'll work. Oh,
now, depending on where you are, it might be hard to find a house that's $1,000.
You're right. Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
That may
I
be
already know that. That's a fact. Yeah.
Yeah, that may be the challenge, but it doesn't mean it's undoable. And through NWR and other things, there's a way to raise your money to get your level up even higher. So that's what's so great about this program. Coming into it, you're going to be going through a cleanup, if you will, to find out how to get your income to the highest position it can be and to get your credit where it can be. Now, the great thing about our program is you don't have to have your credit fixed before you can buy.
Right.
You can be living in a home and going on with your life while you're still getting all these things fixed up in your life, and then ultimately get into a better loan down the road.
Okay, I got one more question before I go. Okay. So the average person like us, our down payment, I heard a payment of $5,000.
Well, typically our programs run a 5% or 10%.
Right.
So if
Okay.
it's a $100,000 house, you're looking at either 5,000 or 10,000. But I got to tell you too, there are a lot of factors that come into that. Suppose we fix a house that needs painting and it needs some fix up out around the house, and you can do that. That will
Right.
help with some of that down payment.
Okay. So okay, one more question. I'm going. How about if you don't got the 5,000? Ain't this a program?
So that's going to be a little tougher if you just don't have any down payment at all to work with.
No. I said, how about if you don't have the 5? Say if you had 25.
Oh, that's going to help your mortgage payment come down. That is
Okay.
exactly what we can do, is be able to show you how to get your payment down even further. The more you put down, the lower your house payment is.
And excuse
Right.
me,
So you must didn't understand. I said maybe say if we didn't have the 5,000, say if we had 2,500 for the
Okay.
down payment, could we still get our home?
So we would have to work out a way to end up with that.
Right.
And it may be that we have to structure it. We have a VIP program where you can put some of that money down and continue to work toward that. And once you have it all, then we can move forward. Or what if the house is a good bit of work and you're willing to do that work? That may help some too.
Okay.
So there are ways to get things done, but if you're looking for a perfect $300,000 house,
Right.
$2,500 is just not going to do it.
No, we not. We trying to get in something.
You would be surprised how many people start.
You'll be surprised. Half of America paying $1,500 for a trailer.
Right. No, I'm very aware of that. Yep.
Right. Well, thank y'all.
Yes, sir. Nice talking with you too.
Great questions, Mr. Curvis. Great questions. Hey, Mr. Curvis, you already know we're going to get that money. We're going to get that other 2,500. Would you share your story of Miss Vasha in the program you guys are being plugged in? You already know you're going to get that money. And plus, with the people that you connected to come in and help with that work, the equity, and I already know how you handle business. So it's going to happen.
Right.
I have one last question. With this opportunity coming through the MWR program, can a person use their cash flow from the MWR opportunity to be included in their monthly income to qualify for more home? That's an incentive to build the program or share the opportunity.
Absolutely. Every dime.
Just want to make sure we can count that. Okay. And it's household income.
Right. You'd be surprised how many people cut hair on the weekend and they make $100 a weekend. That's $400 that we can put toward their buying a home. They don't have to claim it. We just have to be able to prove it. We can't just take their word for it and go, oh yeah, you said you made $100 a weekend. Well, we need to see that happened. And maybe that we need to educate them and go, you're going to have to put this money in a bank account so we can track it. We just need to be able to show it.
And it can be household, everybody in the home, right?
Can you guys
Absolutely.
hear me?
I have people that call and say, my daughter's living with me and she makes, $1,800, whatever. Well, that counts.
Man, this is good.
Beautiful, beautiful. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can't make stuff up. It has to be provable. Great question.
We hear you, Drake.
Yo, you can? Okay. All right. One thing I was going to say in reference to tracking the information with them doing transactions, do Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, that can track that information. That will suffice.
Yes, they will give a printout and a summary of their payment. We just need to be able to see it.
Man, wow.
This is a no-brainer.
At the end of the day, when something goes wrong, we have to be able to prove this is what we were told.
Right.
This is what we based our decision on. We can't just willy-nilly make up a decision and go, yeah, everybody's approved, and then they can't make their payments.
Right.
We don't want to set them up to fail. That's the last thing we want to do.
I'd like to make one last, it's a statement. Well, really, it's just some clarity. I've been working with Lou Brown with a couple of clients that their information did not go through the system for whatever reason. Well, I know the reason. This is direct from MWR. When you go through the Keys to Home Ownership program, coming through the MWR membership, please do not use Firefox or Safari. And I believe they're going to have a meeting and they're going to get that clarity, because we found out that some of the people that when they did their application fee, it did not actually, they did not convert over to the Keys to Home Ownership, and it was like a little glitch in the system. So for now, just recommend everybody coming through the program to use Google Chrome only. Use Google Chrome only until further notice. Okay?
Great question. Great question. Senior Vice President Ms. Karen, you want to ask that question? Are you in a position?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, how you doing, Mr. Tracy Mills?
Hey, Miss Karen.
I appreciate you being on the line. Just one question for one of my clients or business partner, and I know that it has been challenging. We've been looking like every single day, every hour, every minute, with what she got approved for on the loan. And, because just the place that where they're in now, they don't even know when they're going to get evicted. They just afraid that they're going to be homeless here soon because of what's happening and going on around the country. And, she just wanted to find, I don't know if it's something that we have to go into and apply again,
Nope.
because we were thinking of, with the approved loan that she has, can we buy a land for what she got approved, and then find like a mobile home to put in that property. And of course, she's gonna make sure that she will like work on it to make sure that it's actually gonna be a house, in the property, since
So
it's
that's going to
very
be
challenging right now.
that's going to be a more challenging situation to do. If we're involved in the land purchase and the mobile home purchase all at one time, that might be a different scenario. I know who you're talking about, and I'm on top of that every day. I've actually emailed and skip traced the one house she did send in that I'm working on, and getting the lady to respond to me, I haven't been able to get her on the phone or in email. So a lot of times we get people that are on the do not call list, and if we're soliciting them, there's a fine for that. So we have to do a slower route and do a mailing and do emails. And I think the lady I looked up had 25 email addresses, and I've sent an email to each one of them. I don't know if they're hers. And that's the thing about skip tracing. You never know if you really have the right person. So on that one, we're working on it diligently. This is just because of the monetary value. This is going to be a tough one. I'm just going to be honest. And I think I did that from the beginning.
Yes.
Well, for her situation, please connect with me, because she's not a tech savvy or anything
Right.
like that.
No,
I have to
right. It's
really
not her.
go in.
No, it's not her. It's the homeowner.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
All right.
So
Yeah,
she
it's just,
actually is
yeah.
accessible by phone. We can get her by phone.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. And we do run into that a lot when we're looking for homes. It's a shopping nightmare, because you have 100 homes that you're reaching out to that fit your criteria, and 80 of them tell you to go somewhere because they've had 80 other people aggravating them about selling their home and they don't want to sell. And then you've got probably 20 that say, well, I want to sell one day. And then 3 of them are holding out for way over what it's worth because the market's just been that good for a while. So it's challenging at the moment, but we are getting it done. We have a couple of houses in Columbia we're getting ready to close on, and we have others we're hoping to get under contract soon. It just sometimes can be a little bit of a lengthy process.
And what would you say, Mr. Tracy, in reference to setting expectations? I know, of course, WPGWFLL, we run a tight ship in reference to being very transparent and being very candid with individuals when it comes to qualifying for a home and the type of monies they have and the situation they're currently in. So what would you say in reference to setting expectations for individuals who have got approved for a small amount of that sort, or even just initially making that initial contact with them?
So if this was like going to a grocery store and we could just go out and pick a house off the shelf and say, all right, we'll take this one, this would be a lot easier process. But because we have to go around and shop at homes that people are actually living in or may have renters in, we deal with a lot of portfolio owners that have multiple properties and they've got tenants that because of our program may not want to participate, and we're going to have to give them time to get out. So we never have a time schedule. I would like to say within 30 to 60 days, we will have located a property, but then we have to go through a closing process. We may have to put somebody out, and I don't mean throw them out. I mean, they may have to have time to move into a new home. We may be putting them into another home. So we may have just gotten two that we have to deal with. So it's really hard to put a timeline on, and especially the lower priced houses is just becoming tougher and tougher to find a house to fit that budget. They're out there and we can find them. It's finding that proverbial needle in a haystack sometimes. So I hate to tell you within 90 days we'll have you a house, or within 30 days. We just don't ever know, but we are diligently looking for houses every day.
Mr. Tracy, in reference to foreclosures, we're connecting with Mr. Shearer is connecting with a realtor out in Jacksonville. I'm gonna go meet with her in reference to foreclosures. How would you handle the foreclosures perspective?
So one of the things we find with people who are in foreclosure is most of them don't want to talk to anybody. They're embarrassed about the situation, and there are many reasons why somebody ends up in foreclosure. A lot of times, if people will reach out, we can help them. We can take somebody out of a foreclosure and put them into another home as long as they have dependable income. A lot of times the banks have just cut them off. They don't want to reinstate their loan. They're just ready to take their house. The last thing we want is for a bank to get your home. So we have ways of dealing with banks, and we can sometimes rescue homes from foreclosure. But what I have found in my experience is if we leave somebody in a home that's been through foreclosure, there's enough trauma in that house that it's just a horrible experience. So our best bet is to get them out of that house, get them somewhere else where they can be happier and get those memories behind them, because something has happened in their life that has triggered this foreclosure event. May not have even been their fault. And so we're very keen on that. And we do have timelines to work against. So it's not something you want to ignore. The sooner we can get involved with somebody who's maybe going into a pre-foreclosure or actually have paper served, we can rescue houses up to the day of auction. But I got to tell you, the closer auction day gets there, the harder it is. And some houses are not worth saving. You know, you owe the bank more than the house is even worth. So it's a case-by-case scenario. And it used to be that foreclosures were a place that you could make money on houses, but nowadays the banks have really worked that against them, and it's usually a really bad situation. So contact and communication is the most important thing in a foreclosure. There's no judgments here. I know my parents went through one when I was a very young age, and it just happens. Businesses lose. People have things go wrong in their life, and that's part of it. So there's no judgment here. We're willing to help, and that's one of the solutions we can work with dignity instead of, looking at it as they're a bad person. It happens every day, and foreclosures are going through the roof right now. There are going to be a lot of great people that end up in foreclosure for just a lot of reasons we don't have control over. So my advice was reach out to somebody. Let's see if we can get something done to get this thing slowed down or rectified and get them out of that house and get them in somewhere they can be happy.
Good deal. So what we would do in that case is just let them get pre-qualified, business as usual.
Absolutely.
It's in foreclosures. So
even if we didn't buy the foreclosure, they're going to need somewhere to live if they actually go through the foreclosure. And right. So we can work with them as long as they've got something to work with.
Oh, wow. Beautiful. That's beautiful. Amazing. I know you guys heard that right there. So you can actually potentially, and not potentially, you have done it. I already know.
Yes.
Sure. Individuals that were closing. And then you said even up to the day of that you can have assisted individuals. Oh my goodness, this is powerful.
Because if we can stop the foreclosure sale until we can work out something with the bank, and the banks don't really want your house back, now they have to spend, I think it's an average of $80,000 on every house to get it back on the market by getting people out, spending money to get them fixed up. And so it just wrecks a community. they don't really want it back. So they're often willing to work with an investor in ways they wouldn't work with the homeowner.
Right. That stands to reason. Wow. Man, this is just too amazing. Wow.
There are many facets to real estate. It's a unique monster.
Beautiful, beautiful.
All
Any
those
other
are great
questions?
questions. That's my favorite part.
I see Coach T.
I sent an FYI in the chat. Please remind, I don't know if everybody got that message. That's very important.
Make sure you guys use Google Chrome. I know WPGW knows that's what we use, period. So use Google Chrome on the MWR website when you're signing into the program as well, so you won't have some of those challenges that Brother Trev, Coach T mentioned a few moments there. So remember, because this is why this is serious, because when you have individuals already frustrated, it doesn't take much to send them over the top. And this is one of the reasons why I'm working with Mr. Tracy Mills only, ourselves, because of the synergy. I know he has a heart to help people. He's high on integrity. He's a retired state trooper, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I didn't retire.
Oh, you
I
didn't?
left early.
Okay. All right. So the beautiful thing is, because one thing that happened, I remember someone actually went through the process, and the first thing they was asked was what's their credit score, and when they went all these other ways, they were going to take them to the traditional lender to go for that commission. And we've already told individuals up to 3 years, you can rent their own and these things. And someone hear that, some people, they're going to shut down automatically. So we want to make sure that we're communicating effective with integrity, no exaggeration, and make sure you use Google Chrome, because individuals, some people run into that, you're not going to hear from them again. If they run into that challenge, they're gone. You got to understand, a lot of people with the climate of this economy, their mental state, their emotional state is at an all-time low. So one thing will break them, literally send them over the edge. I've been working with people and counseling people for 30-some years. I know people. All right. One more question. One more question, and we're gonna get it to moving so we can go bless some more people and get this amazing information out, guys. We had 20-some on earlier, and I already know is from some of the challenges of the golden meeting for them and people not reading and downloading and so on and so forth. But nevertheless, guys, let's really promote this amazing educational session for realtors and even individuals. Individuals can get in on as well. But we're focused on the realtors too. But the individuals that's looking for homes, got situations, by all means, invite them as well. But this is for the realtors. We're going to do another one for individuals, but we're dealing with the realtors now, real estate professionals, real estate investors. Individuals that's invested, period, that's investors, period. Bring them to this information, all right? Share this information with them. Let them know it's so many options. We have the best of the best. Mr. Tracy Mills, high on integrity, high on passion to help people, treat people as human beings, regardless of their situation and circumstances. So please express what we have here to get the individuals on the line. So we look to double the numbers on 7 p.m. this evening.
Well, if I could say one more thing.
Sure.
You brought up a good point. If you know investors that are tired of dealing with management companies, they're tired of renting their properties out, they can put their properties into our program. We'll be their free management company. Whoa. They don't have to pay us a management fee.
Whoa.
So we can work with a lot of investors that have properties and put them into our program. They're not going to have to run our program. We'll take care of all that. They just make the house available to us, and we'll work out a deal with them where they can get a good return on their property as well. And they don't have to sell it to us. They have to be ready to sell it when our customer is ready to buy. Wow. So all that's another discussion, but it definitely is possible.
Man.
I just keep bringing this stuff out of the trunk, don't
I? That's right. That's right. I told him you're the best of the cream of the crop of the cream of the crop of the crop cream.
Well, I don't know about that, but this is what we do full time, and I love it. So it's a lot of fun.
What they say, Dre? Tracy's a bad man.
Yes, sir. I give credit where credit is due, and my standards are
bad in a good way. In a good way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
And, you know, I grew up in a very small community of 600 people. We were poor. We just were poor and didn't know it. And so I've lived all of this stuff we see on a daily basis. And I'm very in touch with it. And I want to see people succeed. And everybody deserves to have a house to live in.
Wow.
It just doesn't come free. You got to get out and do a little bit of work for it.
All right. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Tracy Miles, you guys heard from Coach T. Phenomenal regional direction, make wealth real, and he believes in serving the people, period. Him and his wife, I'll be remiss if I didn't mention his queen over there, Miss Shirley. I'm telling you, these guys are amazing human beings, guys. So we have the best of the best and people that are focused on serving the people. So as I travel around the country and around the world, appreciate Mr. Tracy getting on. As I say, as I travel around the country and around the world, I love each and every one of you guys. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. But more importantly, love yourself more than anything else on this planet outside of God. And outside of God, love yourself more than anything else. Because in truly to love others, I promise you, you must love yourself first. This is Kingdom Near Titanium, Andre Dre Waters, and I have approved this message. You guys have an amazing evening. God bless. 7 p.m. We see you.
Great call. Great call.
Thank you.
Thank you.